I'm calling Bill Fellenberg.
I first saw her during freshman year in the school library. She sat at a reading table whispering to another girl. Instantly, I was lost to this girl with jet black hair and almond eyes. She was the one for real. Hungry for a closer look, I moseyed back and forth past her table on a bogus search for books in the stacks. Uh-oh, here he comes again, the other girl said. That was my cue to say something clever. Read much lately? I smirked, passing by. They laughed. The librarian scowled and shushed me. Suddenly, a tall guy sidled by the girl of my dreams, looking like he belonged. I scuttled away, a solitary crab, back to my miserable life. Her name was Roxanne Michiko Wagner. That middle name grabbed me by the throat. The next 3 years, I watched her laugh in the cafeteria, gossip by her hall locker, and witnessed her cheat on an English test. No one's perfect, right? Even me, lonely dork and disturbed stalker. Imagine my joy the first day of senior year when she sashayed into homeroom and dropped her books on the desk near mine. What clockwork brought her within my reach? A girl born of a Japanese mother and an American GI of German descent. We had to be soulmates, right? While our racial recipe was similar, the outcomes differed in the baking. She was a perfect cake. In my fantasy movie, she was a Eurasian beauty who'd shimmy down a coconut tree right into my arms, kissing me with those luscious lips. But I was a lopsided cake, a clumsy guy with a Japanese face, a German body, bad posture, and no confidence. Regardless, I was pumped. I vowed to make something happen. As she chit-chatted with a friend about shopping, I plunged into the idol banner. Oops. I like to shop too, I lied. You do? I doubled down. In fact, I love to shop. Suddenly, the world changed. After school, I drove her to the mall. Although I was excited as one of those overamped crazy dogs that runs around in circles, yapping and slobbering, I kept myself under control. Returning homeward, we stopped in Farmingdale for cherry vanilla cokes at Sherman's Sweet Shops. Roxanne chattered until we approached her house, ducking behind my shoulder. That's my father's truck in front of the blue house. Drop me farther up the block. If he knew I was with a boy, big trouble. Why? Doesn't matter. He'd freak out. He's very strict and super religious. I asked Roxanne on a real date to a Four Seasons concert at Monmouth College. The Four Seasons, she shrieked. I love them. On a starlit night in October, I picked up Roxanne in front of her house. The truck was elsewhere. She brought a white uniform on a hanger because she worked the graveyard shift on Saturdays as a nurse's aide. I drive her to Lakewood Hospital after our date. That evening, in the college gym, Frankie Valli's falsetto transported us, exhorted me to walk like a man, and cautioned my date that big girls don't cry. There we were, squished together in the bleachers with 1,000 college men and women. Does it get any cooler? After the concert, Roxanne climbed into the back seat and changed into her uniform. Now you promised, no peeking. Of course not. I'm not that kind of guy, I said, but I was. I looked into my rearview mirror as she dropped her spanking white uniform over her head and squiggled into it. I saw Roxanne smiling to herself. Things got serious fast. We saw The Sound of Music at the cavernous Paramount Theater in Asbury Park, once an Art Deco palace, now neglected, smelling of mildew. As the Von Trapps pranced their way around Nazi-occupied Europe, we made out for 2 hours in the deserted balcony. At the end of the show, there were tears in my eyes, not from the movie, but from my first crippling experience of blue balls. During that senior year, we'd drive to spots with woodsy cover that rendered my Rambler station wagon invisible. Just bringing a blanket and voila, a bedroom suite in the back. Our love gushed like cream of wheat boiling over an untended pot. How romantic is that? You think it will last forever, but it doesn't. That's a longer story. For now, it ends like this. Years ago, I peeked into my rearview mirror and saw a girl's smile, so radiant it spoke for the both of us. For those who think themselves unworthy, first love saves us, at least for a while, from ourselves. That's the end.